Good afternoon, everybody. It's April 23rd or 4th or something like that today. Right now, you're currently looking at a very disassembled, in pieces, Riteway land roller. This is one of two of our Riteway land rollers. This is an 81-foot 7-plex roller. And really, it's just not in the right way, as you can clearly tell. There's pieces hanging off of it. And the reason why is it's kind of falling apart on us, I guess. So we have to do a bunch of welding. So let's talk about it. First of all, what the heck is the difference between a 7-plex and... What is a plex? That's a really good question. A plex is every pivot point. So the more plexes you have, is the more rollers you have, which is the more contour you would have. Make sense? Makes sense. If you only had one roller, you wanted to go up over a knob of a hill, you're going to have rollers sticking out over here, rollers sticking out over here, and you're going to make contact right here in the center of the hill. 7-plex, multiple rollers, extra contour. So 1 roller, 2 roller, 3 roller. There should be a roller going this way horizontally. Before 5, 6, and 7. Now, Riteway does their land rollers a little bit different than a lot of their competitors. Riteway butts their rollers up. Here, we'll do it this way so you don't have to look into the shadow. So they just butt their roller up, roller, and then roller. Okay. Now, that works, I guess, but then you have to have this little roller to roll the gap. Now, most competitor rollers, such as Dagoman, I have a Dagoman, an 80-foot Dagoman up at the North Farm. Their rollers, and it's only a 5-plex, so it doesn't actually roll as good, which means it only has 5 rollers on 80 feet. This is 7 rollers on 80 feet, but they'll overlap their next roller behind this roller. So just imagine this being the next roller. And then the next roller would be behind this roller. So that would V your roller out, which makes you really wide when you're in transport going down the road. The really nice thing about the Riteway roller is that they don't do that. That's a pro that they don't do that, because then you're nice and narrow like this going down the road. But the con, because they do that, because everything has pros and cons, as we know, you have to have this little wee roller, which is quite problematic. So here, see if we can find. So these are actually held on by they're just a spring, and the spring goes onto this tensioning bolt. There's a tensioning bolt with an eye hook or something typically under there to hold that spring. Then you can tension up on that spring to push down. Now these rollers, pounds per square inch on these little guys, are not awesome in my opinion. And believe me, every time you see a rock that really needs to get pushed down into the ground, it's gonna go between the two big ones. It's gonna get rolled over by this little one every single time. Also, I do apologize about the wind, but we're actually welcoming in the wind right now, so we can hopefully dry some stuff up. Again, here's a spring. We've broke these right off, actually. These bolts right here can be problematic, and we can actually break this right off. That's happened before. Trying to get some of these pins out. If they stop taking grease, you got to stop, halt everything, because man, you go, seems like 8 hours, 10 hours out these puppies taking grease, and they don't like to take grease again after that. But anyway, that would be our bad. So anyways, here's the big hook. Their locking system is a lot different than a Dagoman. But this roller is literally just being held up by this Traco, and this one's being held up by the John Deere loader. Otherwise, they're just going to flop around. So let's talk about I guess why we even land roll. Why do we even have land rollers? Well, we roll just the pulses down here at the South Farm. So any stones or rocks, whatever you want to call them, the size of softballs, baseballs, some bowling balls, we just punch them right into the ground. And it will make a nice flat surface like a road in our field. And then we can stick our combine headers in flex mode, and we can just go right along. Well, Mike, why don't you just pick your stones, and then you don't have to worry about land rolling? Not the case. You could pick and 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 pick until you're blue in the face, and you're still going to miss something. There's still going to be even a rock that big. If a rock just that big, nice little wee small one, which is unpickable by the way. Basically, the smallest that you would go down to would be the size of a baseball. That would be the smallest that you would go. So you would have all the rocks the size of a baseball and smaller. If they were sitting on the top of your seed row, then when I'm nicely put my combine header in flex mode, I would scoop that rock right in my combine, and you could do a lot of damage very quickly. So land rollers were invented, mush all those rocks, punch them right into the soil, easy peasy, life is breezy. Up at the North Farm, I actually roll all the cereals as well. We don't do that down here. But anyways, I think I said this. We have 2 Riteway rollers. This is one of 2. This is an 81 foot 7-plex. I have an 80 foot Degelman up north 5-plex. Doesn't roll to the contours near as good as this one would, but this one seems to be falling apart on us, which isn't too good either, right? So that's, and then we also have a 68 foot 5-plex land roller. Now there is differences. I do believe this drum is a 42 inch on Riteway, which is one of the bigger ones. Degelman I think has a 36 inch drum, so smaller drum. Anyways, we like the roller, but we're kind of getting sick of welding on it, to be honest with you. So they were marking a bunch of these X's. There's X's. There's some cracking going on around here. That's just one of many places where there's cracking. Obviously, as talked to you, this is a weak spot on these things. We got to look these over. Where else here? Oh, we got some more X's over here, some more cracking coming around here. Now, some people land roll at 8 to 10 miles an hour. And if you're going to roll that fast, then you could probably expect your land roller to break up. But as you guys know, I don't even like sending my grain cart. If my grain cart hits 8 miles an hour, that's way too stinking fast. You better slow the frick down. So we do not roll very fast. We would roll probably 6 to 7 miles an hour, which is a little bit faster than seeding at 5.5 miles an hour, 5.3. So these things are going pretty slow. I know some people that roll at 12 mile an hour. That's insanity. We barely even spray that fast. Oh man, but anyway, so as you can clearly tell, we're missing a set of caster wheels here. I'll just kind of show you on this one. This one I don't believe is breaking up, but it was breaking up all in underneath here, where this pipe goes down, basically breaking up all this except underneath and under the backside here. Yeah, so it's just kind of built a little bit on the lighter side. Now, this was one of their first gens out, which would make sense. You know, they're gonna have a bunch of updates. They sent us a bunch of hitch updates. I'll show you that with the rest of the roller that we drug in the shop. But yeah, hopefully we can get this thing back together here in a speedy, quick manner, because seeding is coming pretty fast. All right, so looking in the shop here right now, it's literally just the hitch and the main roller and the transport wheels here. Our shop isn't big enough to actually put a whole roller in, so we have to kind of break it up and put it into pieces. But this is probably one of the weakest areas of the whole roller itself. It's always breaking in here, breaking in there, and breaking in the hitch. So we'll just squeak through here. It's kind of tight. So we got some cracking right here, cracking on the other side, and again on the other side of the roller as well. The hitch was super weak. They actually came out, Riteway actually came out with updates for the hitch. They sent out this bracket, which goes all the way around here. They sent this out. We welded all this back into place. They sent this out. They sent this out. This was original. I think we put this on. The hitch is definitely not built heavy enough. They sent these out. We welded these into place. Sent these out. Welded these into place. But yeah, and then so it's cracking right here, cracking across the top down to here. There's an X here, so it must be cracking somewhere around there. Oh yeah, it's cracking out to here. So basically the whole thing is cracking everywhere. We've never ripped anything off, and we don't roll very fast. But I think what they're going to do is they got some flat bar, and they're just going to brace up this whole hitch. Is, to my knowledge, what they're going to do. Oh yeah, and then in here, this main pin, which, you know, this would actually pull all your roller. This is actually getting slopped out in here. Yes, you can grease the crap out of that, but this is still getting slopped out. It's literally pulling out of here and out of here. That pin right there. Better look here. This is on the other side. Made my phone. See how that pin is literally just pulling right out of the frame? Just like, that's not a greasable point. That's just pulling out of the frame. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do this roller. Are we going to get it perfect before seating? Most likely not. But yeah, a lot of roller here for not enough hitch, and so on and so forth, in my opinion. Right, I completely forgot to show you this part. This is part of the mainframe caster wheels. So the caster wheels would actually be down in here, and I think they got this all fixed up. Oh, I thought it was hot for a second. But it cracked all the way around here, and it was literally this whole pipe that runs through was about ready to fall out. So they did a bunch of welding down under here on the back side, which you can't see. Too bad I can't turn on my camera. I used to be able to do that, my camera, and then shine you a light. Maybe I can, nope, I cannot turn my flashlight on while recording. Okay, fair enough. Anyways, so yeah, so this is getting all fixed up. We'll throw some orange paint on there, some Riteway paint, and put this back together. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I'll catch you guys on the flipper.